Okay, this will be my raw reaction to new Serum 2. Don't expect too many edits, I just want it to be raw, coming straight from me, and how I feel about it. I was actually sure I was going to mistakenly leak Serum 2 because I've been working in some of the factory presets. I have installed that in my computer for months now, and my fear was I will type Serum in the search in Ableton and Serum 2 will be seen, and eventually I will be the one who leaks Serum 2. I was super scared. It didn't happen. I'm super happy, and you heard it right. Some of my presets will be in the factory preset pack. You will have some Alice goodies coming with Serum 2. I was super happy when Steve reached out to me, and now you can use them as default from the factory immediately. But enough with that, let's take a look what is new, what I like, what I don't. This is how it looks. It looks bigger, it looks fatter, it looks a bit more complicated. So if you are a beginner, it could be a bit more overwhelming for you compared to Serum 1. So this is one negative thing. On the other hand, if you are used to Serum workflow, it is almost same. So there are a bit more buttons, a bit more ways to do things, a bit more routing options, a bit more Dove-like options, but if you really stick to the old Serum, you will still feel it's pretty much same. So what do we have? The first thing, if you take a look at here, we have some new mix option here. It looks like a Dove faders, which is exactly what it is. So you have the different faders over here that you control the volume levels. You can route the effects or the sounds in different buses and use them as a return or the bus and so on and so forth. So it gives you a bit more flexibility with the routing. The effects section is bigger. Now we can build the effects we want. I will come back to that. We have a bit more improved matrix and a bit more improved global as well. For the filters, now we have two different filters, and you can actually decide how to use them. And the way you do it, you go here on the filter, decide on routing yourself. Let's say we are on the filter, and you can decide either you're going to 1 or 2, or you can actually route your sound to different buses as well. And that's why these routing options will be very handy if you want to get really complicated different routing options in Serum. For the noise, we have a bit more prettier demonstration as well. Now we have this one single line with all the slaters on top. On the bottom, we have now 8 macros instead of 4, and we have 4 envelopes. We can have up to 10 LFOs, so it's really all the modulations that you need. They have a different looking keyboard, and all the things that we need actually here, you can actually scale it up or include swing and so on and so forth. Like everybody was waiting for this one, now we have an arpeggiator inside the Serum with tons of different options. But more importantly, I think this is even better. We have clips. It works like Ableton clips more or less. You have different clips that you can create different sequences, and it looks pretty much like Ableton, works pretty much like Ableton, and you can just drop from here, for example, clip into your Dove without no problem. Just like that. While I was creating the presets, actually, I did other way around. I create everything in Ableton, the sequence, and I just dropped back to the Serum. It works that way too. So it's super cool, super neat. And you have 10 of them, and you can also overdub stuff. I think this is really important. So you can actually create your sequence and play with the parameters and record it on top so that you can have like this more authentic automations or modulations inside your patch. What I really loved is that now I can actually create before I always create a MIDI together with my Serum packs or any packs I do, but this time I can actually build the MIDI inside the sound so people know exactly how they can use, right? That means, for example, I can do this. And if you code the clip, you see exactly what's happening, right? So it's very clear tip for the user to how I intend the preset to be used. You can use your way, but it's just an example on how to use that stuff, right? You can see that I automate the macros here. You can see the notes there. Clip here. It is super neat. I think it should be included every single scene. This is super neat. This is super useful for preset creators. And for people who wants to try quick sounds, they can just go around here. Okay, what I need? I go here. Wow, that's a cool sound. Another cool sound. Another super cool sound. What was missing in Serum previously was this techno house type of sounds. Now you have it from me. You're welcome. If you go to sliders, what do we have new? If you open this up, now we have the wavetable multi-sample, meaning that we can actually sample different part of the sound instead of, for example, one single region. So you can actually have sound holding itself more in whole keyboard. For example, if you sample single sound, if you get away from that octave, then the sound starts to fall apart. I'm still using the beta version. I couldn't upload my Serum because the websites keep crashing. So your sound could be looking slightly different than what I have. And then your regular sample, and we finally have the granular. So for the granular synthesis, right? And we have the spectral. Cool stuff. And we have 2 of them. In the warp mode, we have some extras. Now we have actually FM and PD, phase distortion, FM modulation separately. Previous serum was phase distortion, the FM modulation was not really FM modulation. Now we have FM modulation here that we can do. I'm trying to be quick with everything. And instead of single, we have the dual warp. So it means that we can use 2 different things at the same time, which is super interesting. I'm gonna test it even more this one. And for the unison, we have different modes now, right inside the unison here. And for each type of oscillator, there are really tons of different new things that I don't want to go into the super details because it gets a bit boring, but we will probably have more in detail these things when I do more and more sound design videos over here, because there are so much things to really explore here. And I'm already working my new pack, so there will be really neat cool sounds coming very soon. Now the filters, we have dual filter, which is very useful, especially if you want to like layer 2 sounds, one sounds, for example, let's do this. The very typical example will be the first sound will be going filter 1, or let's say they get really dark sound like this, right? Let's put a simple envelope on top. Use like a deep bass, and then you can do something like very weird sound, right? Put it up, put it into second oscillator, put it into second filter, activate the filter. Now make something weird out of it, right? Right? And then you can put even the level either here, put maybe another envelope, put one octave down, right? That's getting super weird. Yeah, here we go. So this gives you so much possibilities that we can do routing. So this is only for filter routing, right? You can actually route it to your buses and even do some stuff there. What about the new filters? We have the new these ones. I think it's the VOSP, DJ mixer, diffuser, MG later, acid later. So new type of like cool filters that will be very handy, especially things like acid later, which is very relevant for techno. Right? And the VOSP is like I think it's I don't know if it is VOSP filter, but I suppose so. Yeah. Pretty cool actually. Filters in nutshell. Let's go to the effects. So we FX main, FX bus, FX bus 2. We had the main bus 1, bus 2. So we can build like a bus here. Let's say I'm gonna add like a chorus, reverb, like this. Let's put it 100%, 100% chorus. Nothing is here until you send it to bus. So in this case, let's say I want to send both, right? This one, and maybe I filter 2 as well. You see, it's super cool. So it gives you so much opportunity. You can send those later, or the filter, or the noise, and then to the bus, and then in the bus you can like do whatever you want instead of like putting everything right onto your incoming serial signal. So this is very flexible. And then we have our classic like insert effects as usual, like the serum, and then we have all this new stuff. The good thing we have now utility, and then we have improved sound. I think, for example, new filter sounds much better. We have different options here: whole vintage, nitrous basin. Vintage is my favorite as usual, and then some more stuff over here. And even on the same effects are improved slightly, like either look or more parameters or the sound itself. And of course, you can rearrange, and you can have the same effects as much as you want. So we have full flexibility, right? You can have 5 reverbs if you want. It's what you want. Or like a 5 distortion, which in some cases, I do want 5 distortion. Maybe not 5 distortion, but 2 of them is not a bad idea. If you're wondering what is these are just splitters, so you can actually split the low and high in single step. This is very useful. So if you want to say, I want to process the low differently, or I want to add only effects to the high, so you can split here. And then you can decide what to do afterwards. Especially if you do this on the buses, like put it on the bus and split the highs and just process the highs, very useful, right? If you go back to the envelopes, like I said, 4 different envelopes, more envelopes for us. And for the LFOs, if you actually go here, you can find like different type of LFO styles. They have the chaos LFOs, which are really cool. You can do some crazy modulation effects, some crazy random chaos modulations. And here we have the Rosler. And we have the presets for the LFOs. This is very useful if you are doing a lot of different LFO shapes. We have expanded view for the matrix. This is really nice because when you have like tons of different effects going on, modulation going on. This was limiting. This is a really nice touch. One interesting thing is actually they have the editable curve. Like if you don't want to like linearly scale it up, you can go editable curve and then like do random stuff here so that it goes like this instead when you actually do it like this, right? So it's interesting option. Now you know it. For the mixer, I think it's quite straightforward to understand filters, oscillators and buses here and the main and the direct out. My favorite part, the clip. We have everything here basically. We have the clip settings like the length and the transposition, the mode. You have like the different type of modes playing out and the rate, retriggered mode. You can record it while playing or overdub it. And you have 10 clips that you can save separately. Super neat, super useful, love it. And we have the advanced arpeggiator. You have like the classic arpeggiator patterns, most of them that we have enabled tonight, I think. And then you have the rate and you can transpose it. You can pick different playback options, different retriggered options. You can decide on what the velocities and retrigger we're gonna do. And finally we have the improved preset look. And the macros are right here, so you can play around as you wish. So I've been using this for a while. My real honest thought is it's extremely strong. It's very flexible and very strong synthesizer, and I'm sure it will be community's favorite again. And I cannot give enough praise for Steve Duda for making this free. I remember I was talking with him on Discord and he like nonchalantly just mentioned that it will be a free update. I was like, what? Like you did all these things for so many years now. He was explaining like how much he was working on over this and how he wanted to make it perfect and how much work he put into it. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds real a lot of work. And I see the scene and I realized like, okay, this one should be a lot of work. And then he just says like, yeah, it will be a free update. I was like, what? Really, what? And I was like, yeah, it'll be free for everybody who owns Serum. So that reason alone, I think enough to praise Steve forever. Like I cannot be more thankful for putting this one out for us to play around and making it free. Like other synth producers should take a note. But not everything is perfect, and I think this is a perfect example how you can earn the heart of the community. Alright, this is the new Serum. If you want me to do a like whole Serum 2 masterclass, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please consider like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.